right, we've all heard of it. Winchester Black Talon. And I have some out today, some 180 grain 357 Magnum. I'm going to do in a 4-inch and a 2-inch barrel test. Now you might be looking at the box and saying, hey, it doesn't say Black Talon. And I'm going to explain. This is Black Talon bullets, and this box is from 1993. Even though it looks brand new, you know, the place I got it from, they must have kept it in really good storage. It's brand new box of ammo. The ammo looks brand new. And Ranger X SXT, what that is right around 1993, Black Talon was basically recalled. There's a lot of negative stuff in the press with it being like cop killer bullets and stuff like that. So basically what Winchester did is they repackaged it as Ranger SXT, and then they put on the bottom there law enforcement ammunition, just so there would be a difference there that the public would see. Now basically what's on it is a Lubalox coating. That's basically Winchester's name for black oxide coating. And SXT, Supreme Expanding Talon, that's what some people say it means. Some people say it means other stuff, but basically, you know, throughout the years, through the 90s, they transitioned this stuff to just basically Ranger, and then they transitioned it to PDX1, stuff like that. So what I want to do today, this is a 180 grain, is I want to compare it to something that's more modern and see how it compares. So I have some 125 grain Hornady Critical Defense. Now, you might say, well, wouldn't Critical Duty be a better comparison? It's a law enforcement, and this is law enforcement. Well, maybe, but I think more people carry stuff like this than the Critical Duty. So we're going to see a difference between the Critical Defense and the Black Talon Winchester Ranger SXT. So we're going to go through the chronograph, see what kind of velocity and accuracy we get at the same time. Then I'm going to do my 10% clear ballistic test, which contains 4 layers of denim right here, followed by 3 inches of clear ballistics to represent hitting a pectoral muscle, followed by a 1/4 inch MDF to represent hitting ribs or sternum, and into more clear ballistics. I'll do a shot with the longer barrel and the shorter barrel through this MDF with our Critical Defense and with our Black Talon, and we'll see if there's a difference. And I'm probably not going to fire much from a distance, but I'll fire a few at my full-size steel silhouette, because, you know, these things run about $10 a round at current, you know, costs. So let's get started with this test. All right, first up, I'm going to test the Critical Defense through the 4-inch barrel and the 2-inch barrel. I am about 5 yards from the target, 4 yards from the chronograph. This is rated at 1,500 feet per second. So let's see what we get out of my 4-inch barrel here. 1436, 1446, 1463, 1446, 1435. We'll switch on to our 2-inch barrel and go single action with this. This is kind of hard for me to control with this little gun. So let's see what we get on our 2-inch barrel. 1236, 1222, 1239. No read. 1235. So not too bad. Let's move on to our Black Talon and see how that compares. All right, our Winchester Black Talon. I'm going to go single action just to not miss, because I'm doing 1 round. You know, this is $10 a pop. So 1 round of our Winchester. Remember, this is 180 grain, so it should be moving a lot slower. See if I can get a read on this. 1210. That's pretty stout. That's pretty stout for a 180 grain. Same thing here with our snub. See if we can get a read. $1,100. That has a lot of recoil. That is hot, because 180 grain, like federal basic stuff, you're talking like 1050 out of a 4-inch barrel. That's hot. So let's hit our ballistics gel block and see what we get with these rounds. All right, first up, I'm going to run the Critical Defense in the 4-inch barrel, and then the 2-inch barrel, and then I'll switch on to the Black Talon. So we have our Critical Defense in our 4-inch barrel here. See how it does. All right, now our 2-inch with the Critical Defense. Let's go up and take a look. All right, so I'm gonna pull out this MDF here, and we can see here that we have a bigger hole in the bottom with the 4-inch barrel than up top with the 2-inch barrel. However, that's still really good. So what we're looking at here is with our 4-inch barrel, the bullet went to about 13.5 to 13.75 inches, sucked back to about 11.5. Our 2-inch barrel, we went to 14.5 inches, and that's pretty good because we got expansion with both of them. So let's try our Winchester Ranger now. All right, Winchester Ranger 180 grain, which is, you know, our black Talon. See how it does. All right, let's try our 2-inch barrel. All right, 2-inch barrel, Winchester Ranger black Talon. A lot of recoil. Let's go and take a look. All right, so I'm gonna pull this MDF out to get this part out of the way. I always like to see this. And what we're seeing here is our black Talons don't really expand in that first 3 inches at all. However, once we get into about the 6-inch mark, and over here with our longer barrel, about the 3 to 4-inch mark, we see a massive amount of damage going on. And what we're seeing here is with our 4-inch barrel, we got expansion, some expansion, and we're at about 15.25 inches. With our 2-inch barrel, actually pretty surprising with that velocity. We went right to 18.5 with our damage path. Our bullet's about at 18.25, and we did not get any expansion with that. But I've never seen a non-expanding bullet with that much energy stay in this first block and do that. So probably what was happening is that was probably tumbling, and being a 180 grain, it's a lot longer than most 38 caliber bullets, so it's going to do a lot of damage, kind of like a 200 grain super police. So I would not look at the expansion or lack thereof and say, you know what, that didn't do very well. I think it did excellent. So I'm going to shoot from a little distance here. I'm just going to use the 4-inch barrel because that 2-inch barrel is kind of, yeah, it's not shooting well for me today. You might have saw I had a different grip on it, and it's not really working out for me. So I'm going to launch some off from, I'm going to say 50 yards, see if I can make some hits. All right, 50 yards from our target. I got 6 rounds of the critical defense in here. Kind of muddy here, kind of hard to get a good stance, but try to make some hits. Hornady brass and 357 mag ain't right, so I don't save it. It's too short to reload. All right, Winchester Ranger 180 grain. Let's see if I can make a hit. One more. Definitely moves slower, but it hits a little bit harder. So what we're seeing here today is that ammo didn't do bad, honestly. You know, we didn't get expansion through the snub nose, but that's pretty typical. If you're to shoot pretty much most standard loaded 180 grains through a snub nose, unless it's like a buffalo bore or something, you're probably not going to get expansion. So I'm not surprised by that, but I am surprised by the tumbling and the amount of massive damage it did. I was not expecting it to do so well out of the snub. Now, granted, that had a lot of recoil. So personally, I would never, if you could get this stuff, I wouldn't carry it to begin with. And the reason why, and this kind of goes back to like some of the stuff Masad Ayuba has said, you know, if you get in a situation, he's been in a lot of courtroom situations testifying about stuff like this. If you get in a situation where you have to use your gun for self-defense, let's say you have certain ammo and you say you're 10 feet away when you made that shot, and this is going back to like hand loads. Okay, what if you loaded it too hot? Well, that's going to put you at not 10 feet, but maybe 15 feet. Let's say you loaded it super light and you said you're at 10 feet. Well, the powder burns suggests, the powder residue suggests you were at 2 feet. You're lying. And it kind of goes to the same thing when we're talking about stuff like this that's rare and hard to find, why I wouldn't carry it. Because let's say you get in this situation, you say it happened this way, a witness says, no, it happened differently. Well, they go to test the ammunition you have and you don't have any left because you spent $10 a round on it, and they try to find it somewhere and they can't find it. Well, maybe they'll run some different ammo to try to prove you wrong. And that's really, why I would not carry it. But overall, just to, kind of go back in time here, back in 1993, I was a young teenager. That was the stuff that was used. I remember cops still carrying revolvers. Kind of cool to see how it performs. So that's what you get today. Winchester, Black Talon, Ranger SXT, same stuff. So as always, comment, share, and like, and thanks for watching.